Welcome to week 3 of the Elul boot camp. Again, keep sending the messages about honey and sweetness and unexpected creations. I really, again, am blown away by the depth of what is being shared, trying to get back to everyone. Um, it's clear that we're not going to have a conversation between each other, either through the technology or people's desire how they share, and I think that's fine, but you can feel free to share it. The third theme of our boot camp, we move from the predominant of Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur, and the image of Yom Kippur of asking for forgiveness. Part of that is fasting. Part of that is a particular kind of prayer called a slichot, asking for forgiveness. And part of it is vidui. Vidui is the confession. Slightly different than asking for forgiveness, it's the statement of what we know we have done this year in the most traditional language, the sins we have committed. And there's a wide variety of ways to experience that. Even the word sin itself in Hebrew, chet, means to miss the mark. So there's already an idea that there's something that we're shooting for that we haven't gotten to, as opposed to the concept of sin, as we often think about it as violating some kind of commandment that is itself a moral necessity. That's there as well, but we can also find within this the theme that I move to whenever I think of Yom Kippur, which is knowing that we are able to do better, not by an objective standard, but by our own capabilities. And just as important, knowing that what is done is done. Um, there is a possibility to make amends with human beings, and we should have to. Um, but there's also times that we run into a wall. And when it comes to those things between us and God, all we can do is say, we know what happened. We admit what happened. We know that we can do better. Forgive us. You are probably familiar with the closed fist that beats the chest. It's a pretty iconic image of somebody confessing, Hashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, this alphabetical order of things that we've done, and this idea of beating our chest as a kind of form of self-punishment, self-recognition of just the need to be reproved. I have a different tradition, which if you've come to services at Gesher or heard me speak about otherwise, you may know. Rather than the fist, I use the open hand. The fist is basically a statement that I'm beating my heart into submission. The beatings will continue until the heart is ready. But the open hand, which is something that I feel, even though it is not traditional, and certainly people can continue to do this motion, is still something we can attach to the idea of confession. It's not our heart that has something wrong with it. It's not our ability to see the world and want what's best. It's usually our actions that don't add up. We know the right thing to do. We don't necessarily do it. We're distracted, or we're tempted, or we're confused as to what to do because we don't have access to the meditations of our heart. So by using the open hand, every time we touch, we're saying, let what is really in our heart rub off on our hands. Let our heart be the guide for our open hand. Rather than we know it's wrong, we take responsibility, and the way that we respond to that is to beat our chest. It's that we're not exactly sure what we can do, but we know we have not lived up to it. Let's see what's in our heart and how it informs our hands. And then Sham, Begadnu, Gazal, all through the possibilities. not just of what we've done, but what we can do. Look below for the exercises, and again, whether or not you use this gesture during the holidays, I recommend to you to think about this image. And if it does move you to use it, to think about it now as we do our exercises, as well as during the different services of Yom Kippur, that we turn to these words. I have been guilty. I have not lived up to my potential. I have taken what is not mine. I have spoken inappropriately. I have continued throughout all the possibilities of the world to not reach what I am capable of. I know it. I say it. I also know it's in the past. And all I can do is promise through my own actions I will not miss a chance to do better.